evening, everyone. Welcome to Centro's Noche de Gala event. Thank you for joining us. My name is Mariana Zamora, and I have the pleasure of serving as this year's board president of Centro. We're gathered here tonight to highlight the amazing work that Centro has accomplished over the past year while gathering with our biggest supporters and friends. Tonight, you will have an opportunity to hear more about Centro's year in review, hear a special message from our keynote speaker, and join us in recognizing the very special people who have done and continue to do amazing work in the community during the COVID-19 pandemic and winter storm crisis. I'd like to take a moment to recognize those who tonight would not be possible without. I'd like to recognize our founders, board members, and the many supporters in our community who help us accomplish and be the community organization for the preservation, development, promotion, and celebration of the Hispanic arts, culture, heritage, and values. A special thank you to our Noche de Gala sponsors, Representative Aaron Zwiener, Espinosa Consultants, Vasquez and Associates Mental Health Services, Texas State University, Hays County Commissioner Lon Shell, and the Center for the Study of the Southwest. As we enjoy this program tonight, I ask you to consider joining me in celebrating Centro, recognizing Centro's contributions, and join us in making a monetary contribution to help us continue to do the work that we do. A big thank you to our board of directors for helping to make this event a success, and thank you for joining us this evening. We hope you enjoy our program.
Hi, my name is Anna E. And I support Centro because they've helped me develop professionally as a social worker, and they help the San Marcos community by providing bilingual education, an art gallery, a library, and a museum, who all help celebrate the Hispanic heritage. They can preserve a historical part of the San Marcos community. So please consider donating to the Centro so that it will be an enduring cornerstone of San Marcos for the future generations.
Hi, my name is Gloria de Leon, and I'm an amiga of el Centro Cultural de San Marcos. I don't know how many reasons I can tell you why it is so important to join all of us that join and support in contributing to el Centro. El Centro is not just a facility, it's not just a group of people, it's not just events. It is el Centro de Cultural. And then what that means is that we are making a difference by keeping culture alive. We want you to join us. We want you to feel just as proud as we do of the essence of what it is to be culturally rooted and celebrating who we are every single day. So join me, Gloria de Leon, and my husband, Ernesto Nieto, because we know and understand the value of nonprofits, and we think it's important for all of us to give. Let's support El Centro Cultural de San Marcos. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Juan Miguel Arredondo, fifth generation San Marcos native and proud member of our San Marcos CISD School Board. For the past 6 years, I have seen firsthand the incredible work being done by Centro Cultural Hispano de San Marcos each and every day. That is why I am asking you to not only open your heart, but to open your pocketbook, to make a financial contribution to El Centro to ensure that they can continue doing the incredible transformational work that they've done for more than a decade. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Rosalba Vasquez Merchant, and I'm a current Centro board member. We're not able to have our gala in person this year, and that's one of our major fundraising sources. We're asking the people of the community to help us with our goals. We have goals for growth and programming for children and adults. Won't you please consider helping us by donating to our cause so that we can continue to serve this wonderful community? Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, Sonia Villalobos here, Centro supporter. We are so blessed to have Centro in the community. Please, please, please consider making a donation to Centro to continue their programming and all of the wonderful things that they do for the community. You would make us so happy. We love you, Centro. Thank you for all that you do.
A big thank you to our supporters and friends who were able and willing to be a part of tonight's program. We love you, we appreciate you, and thank you so much for your willingness to share with others in the community why you choose to give back to Centro. We could not be where we are today without you. Now, I'd like to take a moment to transition and introduce a very special person to Centro, someone who has given so much time and so much of their energy to ensuring that Centro's programs and our doors continue to stay open. I'd like to welcome Ms. Gloria Salazar, our program coordinator, to take a moment to review Centro's year of 2021.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our virtual gala 2021. I am Gloria Salazar, the program coordinator and one of the co-founders of Centro. I want to share with you a little bit about what has happened at Centro in the last year. So as you know, our programs were virtual in 2020 and continued into fall of 2020 being virtual. But then in the spring, we expected 2021 to be a wonderful year. Everything was going to be changing. We were bringing some of our classes back to be in-person classes, and then our world changed again. So we started with our classes more in person and continuing with just a few still being online. As the summer came, we were really ready to get back into being more in person. And so our summer camps, our Camp Olé, our coding classes, our culture club, the Makers Camp, all of those were in-person classes. We did limit the size so that the students could socially distance better. Throughout the year, we have had our regular events only looking a little different. So our Dia de los Muertos events last year, we had outside activities. So at our picnic tables, the kids built their altar and prepared other activities. And on our fans facing LBJ, we created the community altar, where residents could come by, honor their loved ones that had passed, and place a flower or a card in memory of them. The Cinco de Mayo, which is one of our biggest fundraisers, we went curbside again like we did last year. And I want to tell everyone thank you that came out to support us in that, and the different restaurants that helped us through that. We also faced that winter storm, and I hope that you see some of the pictures in here of what Centro looked like. It looked beautiful, but it was a scary storm for everyone. Other things that we did in the community were participating in the MLK wreath laying at the Crossroads Memorial. We participated in the different mural openings that we had throughout town. Our community is really growing in the arts and promoting culture, and so you'll see new murals coming up. We were at the one for the diversity over by the Crossroads Memorial, at the one by the Quintos grocery store, which is of Mrs. Philo. Another part that really changed the face of Centro was the Eagle Scout project. We had an Eagle, a Boy Scout here in town, who took it upon himself to sand and paint our picnic tables and put chess faces on them. And so now we have some very colorful tables out front, and he has hopefully completed his Eagle Scout project. So as we go through all of the programs, we continue to grow, trying to add back some of the programs that we had before. So this fall, we added back in the Youth Mariachi, which again, we're really excited to have them back in a smaller sense, but hopefully being able to grow the program as the year goes on. So again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the support that you have given us during this time. And I ask you once again, if you could please reach down into your heart and help us fill our piñata. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria, for giving us all a snapshot of the past year and all we have been able to do. Now I am pleased to introduce our keynote speaker for the evening. Bradley Freeman Jr. is a puppeteer from San Antonio, Texas. Born in Brownsville, he's been a lifelong lover of the arts. He's been puppeteering since he was 5 years old, and all that practice has launched him towards his current career as a puppeteer for Sesame Street and the Muppet Studio. Please enjoy these words from Sesame Street's newest puppeteer, Bradley Freeman Jr.
Hey there. I'm Bradley Freeman, and I would like to first apologize for this situation that I am recording myself in. I feel severely underdressed and severely under-locationed. The same way COVID has caused us to adjust to a whole new way of living, so has a leak that formed in my closet the day that I was supposed to record this video. My clothes are not in a wearable condition yet. Many of them still have hope, and I'm really rooting for them. And the wall on which I was going to record, like that was going to be my background, is no longer a wall. It is a bit of a hole because they're having to access, I don't know how houses work, but they're having to access something in the air conditioning. And there's just a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of mess. I figured this space here would be the best place for me to record this video. And these clothes were the cleanest of the clothes that I have. So I'd like to apologize. I hope you like my lighting setup. This is the mirror light for when you're doing your makeup. And I have all of the car lights on. It's really weird. But we're here. I'm happy to be here. I'm sorry that this is my first impression, but I'm hoping that my second impression, as I'm telling my story, can make up for this very wacky situation that I have found myself in. But hi, let me introduce myself and I'll tell my story, and hopefully you guys can forgive the fact that I'm doing this from my car. My name is Bradley Freeman, and I'm a puppeteer with Sesame Street and the Disney Muppets. That's not something that I get to say out loud very often, and I'd like to thank you for the opportunity because it makes me really happy. It's a dream that I've had since I was a little kid. Since I was about 5 years old, I've wanted to be a puppeteer. I just always loved the idea of tangible things. I always loved, the fact that I could really hold Big Bird's hand and walk through the park. I could really actually shake Kermit the Frog's hand when I'm watching the Muppets. I could hug Elmo. We could play games. We could talk. Barney, Barney and I could sing and dance together, and he could be right in front of me. You can go see Barney live in concert. You can see Sesame Street live in concert. You can't really do that with Woody and Buzz Lightyear. They exist in a computer. They don't exist beyond the screen. I can't actually go and meet Woody and Buzz. I could go to the Disney parks and meet a 6-foot-tall version of them, but I know that it's not them. When you meet Kermit, you meet the real 3-foot-tall frog, if you're really meeting Kermit. And I've always thought that was special. And I didn't know how to articulate that as a kid, but I just knew that I loved puppets. I loved that it was real, and I could see the light hit the fur. I could see when things went wrong. And so I just, as a kid, and then I also was sort of interested in animation, but I don't know if any of you have ever tried animation. A lot of you people are in the arts, and maybe you have tried it. And if you have, you know how long it takes to get just a couple seconds of animation done. And I just don't have that kind of patience. So I wanted to make a character and have that character be real and exist immediately. I wanted the character to be alive and talk to people. That's what I really wanted to do, and I could do that with puppets. So I was always, at H-E-B or Walmart and looking through the toys section, trying to find what puppets they had, because I loved bringing characters to life. And I still do. It's a really magical thing. I was always obsessed with it. And for a while, I kept it quiet because I felt weird about it. There's nobody else around me that does this sort of thing. Nobody else around me wants to dance around. Nobody else wants to dance the puppet around. Nobody else around me wants to sing with the puppet on or do shows. It was weird. I felt weird being the artsy kid, because there just wasn't, the emphasis was always on sports, and that's pretty much it. It was always on sports, and I was not a sporty kid. I think a lot of us in this demographic understand the feeling of just having zero interest in being the sporty kids. And to those of you that managed to be artsy and sporty, I envy you greatly. I was never able to blend in with that crowd and even act as if I knew a thing about anything involving a court or a field. I was not cut out for that. But what I did do was I in middle school is when I really started to sort of branch out. There's an extracurricular program called Destination Imagination, and that is sort of the turning point for me. That was when I realized that there were other weirdos like me who wanted to make a fool of themselves in front of other people and make people laugh, whether it be with puppets or not. And it was really special. It was really special to find those people who were into colorful things and not just things with yards. That's a thing, right? I don't know. And so it was really, really special, and it helped me learn that, to be me and to be myself is okay, and it's okay for me to try new things and to have fun. And I remember for Destination Imagination, it was my first time sort of revealing the fact that I loved puppets to people, and they didn't think it was weird. They thought it was really cool. And I built this puppet who worked very similar to Big Bird in that it was a costume that I put on, and my right hand went up into the head of this robot. My right hand went up into the head. He had a fake right hand and a real left hand. That was my actual hand. And I could see through a little speaker that I put into his chest, and I had my hand up above, and people were looking up at his head, and they weren't looking at the speaker because you couldn't see my face. And I was talking to people, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful. It was fun. I remember I won an award for it, and they had me go into this parade with it, and I wore it as a costume for like 2 years after that because I loved it. And that was one of the moments that I was like, this is something that I think I can do. I think I can do this, and I think people are going to like it, and they're not just going to make fun of me because it's a weird thing. They're going to like me because it's a weird thing. And then I joined theater in high school, and I learned how to act and how to present in front of an audience and how to read a crowd, which is hard to do when you're recording things over video. But how to read a crowd and how to gauge a reaction and how to enunciate and use your diaphragm and use your stage voice versus your speaking voice and things of that nature, how to be soft and how to be loud and how to have dynamics. And my goodness, it was just so beneficial. And doing that introduced me to a whole bunch of other artsy people who were just like me, who wanted to do things for people. We wanted to do things to make other people smile and to make other people forget about their troubles for a little bit. That's a really special tool that a lot of us entertainers have and love to use, is the fact that we can help a big group of people escape for a little bit. They feel better for just a little bit. I think it's really, really magical. And to talk about how I got onto Sesame Street, back in 2018, Sesame Street was holding a puppeteer workshop. They were holding an international workshop, sort of a training to train up some new puppeteers. They wanted to see who was out there, sort of almost a talent scouting thing. And it was international. So they had about 500 applicants, 500 people applied, and they only chose 30. And I was one of the 30 people that they chose. And that's still something that is wild to me. They chose me, and we did the workshop. It was a 3-day workshop. I got to work with my heroes. It was wonderful. I met 30 other wonderful puppeteers, several of which have become lifelong best friends, and we talk almost every day. since then. It's been a couple of years already. And then the workshop was over. And I was like, well, that was fun. I can always say I'm on a list somewhere at Sesame Street. They know my name. And, well, they did. And then I wasn't expecting to get anything back. The chances of ever getting onto Sesame Street are astronomically low for a puppeteer. It is the NBA of puppetry to get onto Sesame Street. It is insanely hard to do. And then I get an email asking me to audition for a character several years after the workshop. I thought they'd forgotten about me. I thought, there's no way. Well, they didn't. And they sent me an email and asked if I could audition for this character. And I auditioned. I did it over Zoom. They sent me a puppet. And spoiler alert, I got it. And that's Wesley Walker on Sesame Street now. And he is my character, but the thing about having your own character on Sesame Street is not only do you get to perform your own character, but you get to help other people with their characters. So every time I'm up there, if I'm performing Wes or I'm, Grover's right hand, we usually use assists, or, Ernie's right hand, or I'm the ball on the stick for a different shot. There's all sorts of things. There's no limit to what you can be cast as at Sesame Street. And it's very incredible, and it's the biggest honor I've ever received in my life. And with the Muppets, they were also holding a workshop shortly after, and it was an invite-only workshop. And because a lot of the same people work for Sesame Street that do for the Muppets, I was invited to the workshop, and they said, send in a tape and we'll let you know if you can come to the workshop. So I sent in the tape, and they emailed me back saying, give us a call. And I gave them a call, and they were like, good news, bad news. Bad news is you are not going to be attending the workshop. I said, shoot, I knew it. I knew I wasn't going to get in. I'm just not good enough for the Muppets. And then they said, good news is they liked your video so much that they just want to hire you. So you're just a part of the Muppets now. And I was like, so I have managed, it's like I've won the lottery twice. And I am grateful for that every single day. And I'm so excited. I just got a call today that I get to go help the Muppets with something that I'm not sure I can actually talk about yet. But they're going to make a special appearance soon in New York, and I have to leave in just a couple of days. So now I have to make arrangements for that. And so things like that is part of my life now. And I'm very excited about those things. It's another world of fun, and it's another world of honor, but I would not be here if it weren't for those programs and the art community and people investing in culture and arts. Because part of what Sesame is doing right now is Wes has been created to talk about racial literacy and to talk about these cultures that haven't been spoken about yet. And that is something that needs to continue to happen. And we have a character named Rosita, who is a Mexican monster. And we celebrate the culture of Mexico on Sesame Street as well with her. And it's important to know that the culture of Sesame Street is not different. The culture of Sesame Street is the culture of America, really. It's this melting pot of people. Sesame Street has always been incredibly diverse, and they've always celebrated their differences. It's only now that we've realized that isn't enough. It isn't enough to just show how things could be. What we have to do is be explicit and say, don't treat people badly because they have different beliefs or because they look different from you. It's become a lot harder, but it's becoming more important. And I think that's something that's amazing about, I always have trouble with the name because I want to say it correctly. Centro Cultural, I got it right. Centro Cultural Hispano de San Marcos, right? Espanol? I don't know. But with Centro Cultural, I'm inspired, and I have yet to be able to experience anything, but after having read everything about it, I would be so excited and honored to see the way that you guys present the art and the folklorico and I hear there's like an art gallery, and there's culinary classes, and there's all sorts of things that, those are the types of things that for me, where I had destination imagination and I had my theater program, there are people who can learn to continue to preserve the culture, their family's culture, their ancestors' culture, and further develop certain things within the culture by going to centers and places like this. It is absolutely vital, because we cannot forget it. We can't just assimilate to all these other cultures. We have to be proud, and we want to stand out, and we want to not feel like our different is bad different. It's not different. It's just who we are. We are all unique. We are all beautiful. We all have unique, beautiful, and wonderful cultures. And I think it's important that these things are celebrated. It's important that these things are invested in, because if these things are invested in, then you're going to find chefs who are never going to be able to carry the tradition on to become the next master chef, or whatever those Food Network shows are. That can start at places like Centro Cultural, Centro Cultural. I get so in my head. I don't speak Spanish very well, and I should, because I was raised in Brownsville. I was one of those people who was raised in Brownsville, who I can understand it fluently, but I can't speak it. Anyway, you're not a crowd in front of me, and I can't gauge your reaction. I'm sure you're bored by now. But all I want to say is, I wouldn't be where I am had people not invested in the programs that I was able to utilize to learn how to act, and to learn how to create, and to learn how to be proud of who I am and the things that I do. That is exactly what a lot of other people need for their culture. A lot of people, including myself sometimes, are not proud of their culture. They're not proud of their background. And it can be hard, because you're sort of raised in this society where people are, there's a normal, and then there's a you. Sometimes there's a normal, and then there's your culture, and your culture has to be explained because it's different and nobody knows what it is. But everybody in this culture knows what it is. And if you can't find your community, then you can never really find yourself. And if places like Centro Cultural are not invested in, then I fear for, it's like you find the lost city of Atlantis. You don't want to lose these cultures. You don't want them to slowly dwindle away, like Latin is a lost language. We don't, obviously it would be a very long time, but if places like this are able to slip and fade into the background, then there's going to be a lot of people and a lot of communities that could benefit the country and could benefit the world in small or major ways that will never be able to, because they were never able to access the resources or the people that they needed to be the people that they were intended to be. And places like this that offer that gallery, and they offer the classes, and they offer the presentation, and they allow people to see that who they are and where they come from is okay, and they can be proud of it, and they can continue to use it and take it and expand upon it and make it into something that everybody else wants to be. That's sort of a very muddied way of saying that Centro is very, very important. And I was honored to be asked to be the speaker for this event. I hope that you learned a little bit. I hope that my second impression made a better impression than my first one. I hope I didn't go on for too long, and I appreciate all of you. I love all of you. I'm so sorry that Wes couldn't make an appearance. He's in New York. He's getting his costume fixed up for another shoot that we have coming up in a couple weeks. But thank you so much. This was an honor. This was a privilege. I'm sorry it had to be like this. I hope that I can at least visit for the next event and that I can be in person. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Thank you so much. It has been an absolute honor, and I hope you all have a wonderful video, and I hope you have a wonderful day or evening, whenever you're watching this. I just hope you have a great 24 hours following your watching of this video. All right. Thank you.
A big thank you to our keynote speaker, Mr. Bradley Freeman Jr. What an inspirational message. Next, I would like to begin our presentation of awards by recognizing the following individuals and organizations for their support of Centro, but also their support of art and culture in the community. I'm very pleased and honored to do this and recognize these amazing individuals. First, we have the Diamante Award. This award goes in recognition to someone who has supported the arts and culture in the community. This awardee has not only extended their love and craft to Centro, but have also extended this to other organizations and entities such as the Calaboose African American History Museum and the Walker's Gallery at the San Marcos Activity Center. This awardee remains involved in numerous activities and projects at any one given time, and her willingness to teach others really represents her passion for learning and desire to pass on the love of art and culture to future generations. We're very pleased and honored to recognize this individual for her years of dedication and service to our community, and we are very honored to recognize one of our own board members, Ms. Linda Kelsey Jones. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Centro Cultural, for this unexpected reward. It is humbling to receive such an award when actually I feel as though I've already been given so many gifts to be thankful for. When I came to San Marcos more than 30 years ago, everything I brought with me, everything I'd learned and cared about, all seemed to come into focus. And the true purpose of my life became clear and very fulfilling. Whether by coincidence or providence, I had come here, it seems, exactly at the right time for myself and possibly also a little bit for San Marcos. Arts, culture, and education had always been my main passions. And San Marcos was in the early 90s, was poised on the verge of a really important arts, education, and cultural flourishing. Over previous decades, some infrastructure had already been built, and artists, which there were many of, and culture workers had planted many seeds. The seedlings had started to grow. In spite of my newcomer status here in a small, relatively small town, I was so thankful that I was welcomed at every level and invited to participate in that development of the arts. Not long after arriving, I met two astonishing, amazing individuals to whom I will be forever grateful. Mrs. Johnny Armstead and Mrs. Ophelia Vasquez Philo. Sadly, both deceased now, but not forgotten. Seeing my enthusiasm for arts and culture, they each invited me to be a member of their respective boards. Johnny with the Calaboose African American History Museum, and Ophelia for the Centro Cultural, which at that time didn't even have a building. They didn't have a location, just a board. Their decades of dedicated leadership and vision and hard work and inclusive team building continue to inspire. They certainly inspired me. Their efforts to change the perceptions and possibilities for their cultural communities generated sea changes in the entire San Marcos community. And those are still continuing. Thank you, Johnny and Ophelia, and all of those who continue to carry their visions forward. My personal thanks also go out to a number of organizations, because in order for the visions of individuals to be put into place and maintained and become sustainable, organizations need to also be supportive and flexible and change to support them. Among those are, for me, Texas State University School of Art and Design, which enriched my understanding of the value of art education. And it has continuously supported art in the community and art space, as well as in the schools. San Marcos Parks and Recreation, 25 years ago, took a chance, kind of a crazy chance if you think about it, to actually say yes to having a public art gallery in its walking corridors that connect basketball courts, workout rooms, and a pool. And the Walker's Gallery will be celebrating that anniversary this coming summer. The San Marcos CISD, where I did my student teaching, to the superintendents, principals, teachers who recognize the important role of art in education, and slowly but surely began to build the number of art teachers in the elementary school, in the elementary level. When I first came here, there were no elementary art teachers, and now we have a full slate in each elementary school. San Marcos Arts Commission has consistently supported a diversity of arts, and among those things that include the Eddie Durham concerts, Celtic Festival, Centro's music and art programming, mariachi programs, art space, the Walker's Gallery, and so many other new things, and even some very experimental things. So we thank the Arts Commission. And of course, coming around back to where I started, thank you, of course, Centro Cultural, the board and staff, providing art space with its forever home, and mine as well. Dear and colleagues and friends, you know who you are. I couldn't have done it without you as well. Thank you so much.
Our second award of the night, the Estrella Award, goes in recognition to a dedicated community partner whose work is integral to our community and the sustainability of arts and culture. We give this award in recognition to the City of San Marcos for their longtime support of Centro and for their commitment to financially supporting other art and cultural institutions in the City of San Marcos. The city's willingness to enrich our community and quality of life for all residents is extremely valued and appreciated. A big thank you to the City of San Marcos. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Jane Hewson, Mayor of San Marcos, and I accept the prestigious Estrella Award for 2021. We are honored to be recognized by the Centro Cultural Hispano de San Marcos Board of Directors. According to the selection committee, the City of San Marcos was selected for its dedication as a community partner whose work is integral to our community and the sustainability of the arts and culture. The commitment to continue to financially support art and cultural institutions highlights our willingness to enrich our community and quality of life for all residents. For a number of years, the City Council has supported Centro operations in the amount of $25,000, and we've also provided basic funding for the Price Center, the Calaboose African American Museum, and the LBJ Museum. Our City Council's commitment to assist in funding our museums and cultural centers demonstrates our acknowledgement that a vibrant arts and cultural community is important to our society today and for our growth and progress as a city. Also in 2021, the City of San Marcos supported Centro through an award of $15,000 for arts and cultural education. In addition, we contribute every year to the funding of many arts projects and events throughout the city by our Arts Commission and our Convention and Visitors Bureau. The soul of a city can be in its art, music, and cultural influences. We share a symbiotic relationship in that the arts and culture found in San Marcos brings visitors, who in turn support small businesses, who pay taxes, which allows us to support the arts and cultural institutes such as Centro. We grow and thrive together. I know the selection of the recipient of this award is competitively researched and chosen, and I thank you for choosing the City of San Marcos this year. We will hold dear this honor.
And last but not least, our third award, Campeones de la Comunidad Award, goes to 3 individual community organizations and businesses who were frontline responders and went above and beyond to serve our community during the pandemic and winter storm crisis. Centro's Board of Directors has carefully selected these entities to be representatives of those hardworking individuals who put their own lives on the line to provide much needed services and support to our community during unprecedented times. I would like to recognize the following: Christus Santa Rosa Hospital, San Marcos, La Sociedad Cuauhtémoc, and HEB. Congratulations.
Good evening. I'm Thomas McKinney, president of Christus Santa Rosa Hospital, San Marcos. I want to start tonight by just saying what an honor it is to be recognized by your organization. It's a huge honor just to be here to represent this organization and all the men and women who work so hard here in the hospital to take care of the community. The last year and a half has thrown some unprecedented challenges at healthcare workers across the world, but here at home as well. The workers that come here every day to extend the healing ministry of Jesus Christ and to just take care of those that they're called to serve are honored to do that work, but it means so much to them to be recognized by the very community they serve. So I just want to say thank you for recognizing the staff here and the team and our organization, and we're just so grateful to be part of the community.
Hello, my name is Liz Castañeda, and I'm with La Sociedad Cuauhtémoc. And on behalf of our organization, I would like to thank you tremendously for this honor. Campeones de la Comunidad, that is truly what we hope to continuously uphold in our name, in our service. Our organization, since inception, has strived to be of service to our community. This pandemic has caused immense pain and many setbacks. And this February freeze only intensified the need for assistance, especially for the most vulnerable in our community. So many individuals and organizations came together to make the water distributions possible, along with the food distributions. Too many to list at the moment, especially since I was only given a minute, and I'm pretty sure I'm over that already. But here are a few key people whose efforts must not go unshared. Karina Piñales with Splash Co-working, Scott Cove with the Hays County Food Bank, Catherine Wicker with Austin Interfaith, La Sirena del Rio, Jessica Mejia, and of course the Cuauhtémoc Calm membership who volunteered and allowed the use of hall for these events. These individuals, along with so many others, SMPD, City of San Marcos, Mayor Houston, Shay's staff, Alex Villalobos, Judge Becerra, so many people. I almost feel bad to have even named some because I can't name everyone, but thank you. Thank you so much for this honor. Thank you.
Well, that concludes our presentation of awards. We are so fortunate to live in a community that steps up to help in challenging times. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune into our program this evening. We thank our event sponsors, Representative Aaron Zwiener, Espinosa Consultants, Vasquez and Associates Mental Health Services, Texas State University, Hays County Commissioner Lon Shell, and Center for the Study of the Southwest. We encourage you, if you haven't already had an opportunity to do so, to please make a monetary contribution to help Centro fill our piñata. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.